Hi, this is Susan Bennett, the original voice of Siri. Here's what's coming up today on another great episode of On the Nose with Randall Kenneth Jones.
All I ever say to him is, "There isn't gonna be enough time." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" I go, "I'm not gonna have enough time. There's so much more to know. There's so much more to think about, and I'm not gonna have enough time." That's what I say all the time, because I believe it. There isn't enough time. I'm not done. I've got so much more to know. And believe me, I spend a lot of time trying to know.
If you believe that everyone you meet knows something you don't know, then you're ready for the next bold evolution of the Jones Dot Show podcast. On the Nose with Randall Kenneth Jones introduces you to people who are in the know and ready to share their special brand of know-how with you. From artists, authors, and activists to entertainers, educators, and entrepreneurs, On the Nose will elevate your ability to influence the world we share. Here's the host of On the Nose, Randall Kenneth Jones.
I'm giggling and Mrs. Giraldo. I practice this, Angielski. Do I say it right?
I ask you. Mhm.
Patricia
It
May
means Andrews in Polish. It's like really common, like Smith.
Angielski.
Mhm.
Stage name Benatar, but as I call you, my pet name for you is Mrs. Giraldo.
Mrs. G, that's me.
Mrs. Giraldo. That's like, how are you, my dear, my sweetheart?
I'm good. I'm just busy. I thought I would be cruising now, like painting and, writing stories. And I mean, I am writing, but yeah, I'm just
Wha
working like
That
crazy.
actually kinda okay, Broadway musical, working on a musical,
Yeah, we're doing it again. We're doing the next incarnation again.
so
Yeah.
you're working on that. You're writing children's books now, which is we're here to talk about. I actually had this question for you later, but it's gonna come up right now. Does retirement come into it? Is there a bucket list? You keep doing this.
I know, but I don't. But I know because it's just like it's hard for me to like not do opportunities. That's impossible for me. I'm a Capricorn. It's not going to happen. So as much as I don't want to do, I mean, it's not like stuff that's bad. It's good. It's just that it's a lot. Please God, I'm 73 years old. Give me a fucking break.
Okay, well, we'll just start there. Okay, that seems like the perfect jumping off point for the perfect conversation with Patricia May Angielski Giraldo, known but to many people, a few people as Pat Benatar, known to me as Mrs. Giraldo, because that's my pet
That's right.
name for you.
Mrs. G.
Mrs. G, Mrs. Giraldo. Do you
Mhm.
see us? Do you see us up there? That's
I
us
do
on
see
my
us.
my
Oh
shelf
yeah, yeah.
on my shelf. That's
With
us on my
dark
shelf.
hair. That's when
I
we
w
were
I
children.
Now what's crazy, my kids are there too, but here's what's crazy. I'll tell it really, really quickly because it is the story I'm asked to tell the most. I don't know if you know how much I talk about you. I mean, constantly. No, I love you so much. It's ridiculously oh my god, it's a love fest. No, I am asked about you and me all the time. I wanted to meet you, 1982. I'm at the University of Missouri. I'm doing singing telegrams for money. I want to meet you. I create a fan club that may not have existed for real. I sent you a singing telegram. It worked.
It did work.
I got backstage. I was Prince Charming with my 80s hair, my porn stash, everything.
You
I'm back
did. You had
there,
a mustache,
full
yes.
performer mode. I have my favorite part of the story I tell is that you changed my life. And I know it's hard for you to comprehend it, but just by being kind.
I think that kindness is, like, really important. It's part of my DNA. I think you have to be ki I don't think you have to be kind. I think you should try for sure. Yeah.
I'm bouncing you up and down on my knee. I rewrote Hit Me With Your Best Shot. I made you sing with me. Took you 6 dozen balloons. And I asked you to sign my copy of the telegram. And you said to
Mhm.
me, only if you sign
Sign
mine.
mine, that's right, yeah. Mhm.
And then the camera came back, we took the picture, and it was just you made me realize what I could do. And I've said to you before, and I will stand behind this, other than the family, no one loves you more than me. I've said that to you before. And I'm not sure that I will take on some family members if I need to. So
You are too sweet. Thank you.
you are my angel. No, to have that kind of impact and
That's
your
because you don't
impact.
live with me, like, you don't see, like, the whole thing. We, like, never see that, okay? Talk to Spider, goes, "I love her too, but shit, she's a pain in the ass." He will. He loves me too, but he's like, "Hey, I don't." He's like crazy. He I
Oh,
can't
but
believe
I'm a
it.
Virgo. Would we be able to live together?
No, because Capricorns and Virgos, that's it. My A
Yeah.
number 1 is a Virgo, always.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It would
All of my
be
very closest girlfriends are Virgos. I have, 2 that are on a knot, but and they're I love them, but most of them pretty much are. My first granddaughter's a Virgo. She and I are like this.
yeah.
Much to her mother's chagrin.
I
Every
have
day
to
she goes,
talk
"Thanks, mom." I'm like, "You're so welcome."
well, we're gonna talk about your mom. This book, I still have to bring this book out. Love this book. Pat Benatar, Between a Heart and a Rock Place. I still endorse this book. I'm all about books now. You may have noticed on Facebook, I'm all about books now.
Yeah, I do. I see. That's great.
It's the best. It's the best. Oh, I have a book recommendation for you. Buckeye by Patrick Ryan. Have you read it yet?
Oh, no, right now I'm reading James Percival, and I'm reading what's the other one? It's about, Jane Grey, and it's a really fascinating it's a historical fiction, so it's really good.
Well,
I can't
that's
think.
Buckeye. It was the top book on Amazon in 2025.
Mhm, mhm.
And he did the show because
Good.
Derek worked with his mommy in Reston, Virginia 20 years ago, which is how I met him. Top book 2 weeks before he turned 60, and he had the top book on Amazon. He released the epic novel. You've got to read Buckeye. So, we're here to talk about this book, your children's book. Now, my background so far in the book, I do not have grandchildren yet. That is up to my children. I am not pressuring them. They do what they want to do. However, as you may recall, the day this book came out, I did text you a picture of me reading it to the dog.
I was just gonna say the dog is
Yeah,
good.
yes. Me reading it to the dog. Alexander loved the picture. The other thing you don't know is I borrowed a grandchild. I
Aw.
took it next door. So I took the signed one that I had next door to
Uh-huh.
Ege. Ege, I think, is 3 or 4. His dad is my next door neighbor. His dad plays, I'm surprised he's not playing guitar right now, plays guitar. And I read the book to Ege and it was great. And Ege went nuts with the whole section with what's his grandpa like to do, all of the
Oh, yeah,
activities,
yeah.
because we were there for like 10 minutes with Ege pointing at, I like this and I like this and I like this.
I
So
love what?
n-
So
I have
perfect.
not only read it to a dog, but I borrowed a grandchild to be able
You gotta do what you gotta do.
to. Why did you decide you wanted to write a children's book? Why did you and Spider, Neil Giraldo, your husband, why did you decide to write a children's book?
Because we are such avid readers and we read with our kids. I mean, like, crazily because, I mean, for Haley, especially the older one, because she wouldn't go to sleep. So I would read, like 9 books in a row and, and she'd be like, do another one, that kind of thing. So we would read and Hannah, Hannah was born 10 years later. So she's not really about books. But Haley really was. And Spider and I read, that's all we do. That's what we're, nuts. We read books constantly. So and we have a huge library and so it's a big thing for us, plus we're writers. I mean, words are everything to us, so that these things are really important. And we with the 3 grandchildren, Stevie, Lola, and Cash. And Stevie, when we began the book, was about 4. And she we were talking, and her little friend, she was in preschool, so she was or yeah, preschool, so she was saying to us, does Evelyn R's papa play guitar? And I said, don't think so. I said, I'm not sure. I don't know what he does, but no, baby, just, this is what we do. And then she said, what about so and so's grandma? Does she sing? Does she go on stage? And I said, no, honey, no. I mean, like, so her idea was that all grandparents did the same thing that we did. So we started having a discussion with her about no, there can be all kinds of grandparents. This is what we do, and some people are like bakers or they're teachers or they're doctors, and we started talking, and they don't even look like us. Papa has tattoos, and lots of other grandpas don't have tattoos, and um, they don't go on stage. And we were just going through all these things, and you call me grandma, but lots of other grandmas are called like Mima, and like we're naming all these names, and so we would have discussion ongoing for a long time. So that's when we started discussing that. And then I wrote, I mean, literally wrote the book. She was probably 6 by the time we started writing the book. And I started the beginnings of the book, and Spider jumped in and we got in together. And, and she's 8 now, so it takes a little time to get the book is written really quickly, and we got the publishers right away. But that was the basis of the whole thing. And we would go back to her all the time and say, like, what else? What else? So she was really instrumental in the book. And then by the time the book was being published, she was like 6 or 6.5. Lola was 4, and the baby was just a baby. So, but Lola and Stevie were like very instrumental in like once we chose the illustrator, they would say like, why does she have a dress on and I have pants? I mean, they were like, I go, okay, well, what do you want? You want a ruffle on your sleeve? Like, what can I get you? A heart on your shirt? Like that kind of thing. And why does she have more pages than me? That kind of thing. So they were really instrumental, hands-on with the book. And when we got the first copy, they do the test one, and it's not hardcover, it's paper, hard like paper book. And oh boy, did they love that. And the first thing they did is they sat down on the floor, and Stevie, who is, reading it in pre-K, read me the book, read us all the book.
Oh,
So it was just fantastic. I mean, she needed a little help with the different grandparents' names, but she could read the entire book. So that's for me was and Spider was so amazing because she really was only like 5, and she could read the book herself. And then when she would do this thing, because like in school, they read you the book and then they show the pictures. She would read a page and go like this and
oh,
show us the picture.
oh. What I heard though? Can I make an observation on that? You got the idea because you were in the moment. You paid attention. Not everybody lives in the moment. Not everybody lives connected to what's happening around them. I know you do. I've known you a long time. I do. We pay attention to what is happening. We are looking for ideas and we look for inspiration everywhere.
Everywhere. I mean, it's just, yeah, I mean, that's because we're writers and artists, and
Uh-huh.
everything is a subject that can be, expounded on, that kind of thing. So
And you have 3 more in the works, did you say? 3 more children's
3.
books?
Yeah, 3. Yeah.
Wow. So, you have that, you have the musical that you're working on.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going out with Brian again for 6 weeks. That's really fun because they're so sweet, and it's really nice. They're great people, and sometimes you go out and they're fine, but I mean, they're just lovely. The whole organization is terrific. So
Do you have a bucket list? Did you ever want to write the children's book? You don't stop. Patricia Giraldo, you don't stop. I don't stop. So I get it.
yeah,
I
I
get
mean,
it.
we don't stop. Spider and I don't stop. I mean, he's worse than me. I mean, it's just that I have to do all the grunt work too, which is is really exhausting. Like I do, he has no interest in this is too earthbound for him. So he has no interest in like what t-shirt art we're doing and stuff like I mean, this is not something he cares about. And the routing and the hotels. I mean, he doesn't care about this. Like everything I'm so, into every part of everything we do. So I have all that. So that's why I'm so busy because I have to, I've been in July and August since January. That's where I am in July and August because I'm doing t-shirt packages and what venues we're doing and where we're going and what hotels and how the transfer what the buses, all the I mean it's just so much stuff. So and then I have all the grandkids and all that, so it's a lot, but it's good. I mean, none of it's bad, it's all great. I'm just tired. I want a vacation.
My favorite thing you said to me about Spider when we first reconnected,
Mhm.
he's crazy. If he
He
could
is.
jump out of a plane figure out
without a
how to
chute.
jump out of a plane without a parachute and survive, he would do
Yes,
it.
he is. He's like that. Yeah. So I'm way more focused. But he's, like he's like a mad scientist. He's brilliant and he lives over there somewhere up in that, and I'm way more grounded, like on the ground. And I like it there, and it works. That's why it works because one of us is on the ground. So
We were scheduled, you may not remember this, before we did reconnect, we were scheduled one other time, and your mother
we
passed
will.
away. Yeah, we were and your mother had
Oh yeah.
passed away,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
I wanna honor mom, I wanna honor your dad. What would
Mhm.
they think of your children's books? What would Spider's parents think of these children's books? What does the child in you come back when you write this and you think of them?
They were just great. I mean, they were so supportive always, and they were great, and they would, to be able to, I mean, I know they are seeing these grandbabies, but I mean, every time, I always say to Haley, "Oh, wouldn't grandma and grandpa love to see these kids?" That kind of thing, because they would have. I mean, they loved our kids. They were crazy about them, so they would have gone nuts. So my brother too. My brother passed when he was 46, and he was so close to the kids and our kids, and he would have died to be there with these guys. I mean, it's so great.
Did you find your inner child? That sounds so corny, but do you find your I don't know, do you find your inner child when you're writing a children's book?
Because I was born at 80 years old. I'm like an old lady from No. Absolutely. My mother said I was so impossible to raise because when I was, like 5 and 6, I was like the boss of the house. I mean, I'm just, I
I'm trying to get
just
the image.
love
Oh,
it.
it's there. I think I can see this.
I'm a kitchen towel that says, "You're the love of my life and the pain in my ass." That's it. So
So, you keep going, you keep working, you keep touring, you keep writing. What's goes into your decision-making process about what to say yes or no to? And let me tell you, that's kinda personal coming from me because, I'm 63. And it's a different process because really you do start to look at life very differently and you have a different set of criteria for what you say yes and no to. What are yours? I need this for me.
huge difference between 63 and 73. I'm telling you, because you are really like the idea that you are in the last fourth quarter becomes like real. That changes.
Mhm.
And so that, and you start really discarding things that don't matter or shouldn't have mattered, whatever. And you start picking and choosing what does matter. And that gets real. That becomes like a very serious thing every day. You do that. People, things, stuff, you know, uh, projects, everything that just all starts to get real clarity, and you're just not willing to do things because you're really paying attention, or not. I mean, people don't, but I am. So is he. We are. So,
What do you still want to do? There's got to be one more thing.
and I'd like to get that show to Broadway. That would be great.
Oh,
Do I want to do something personally, like as a performer? No. Mm-mm. No, I'm good. It's a long time. 47 years. Long time.
is there a song from your catalog that you think represents you now better than maybe it did when it came out?
No, I think it's the same. I think it's the same song. It's the same, didn't change. Heartbreaker.
Really?
Yeah, because it was the content was right, the kind of song that it was right, everything was right. It's the same. So it was the first song that we recorded for In the Heat of the Night. It was when Spider and I knew that we had it. It would always remain the same, always.
Is there anything else that you want to record?
No, I mean, recording is a huge commitment, and I have to. You know me, I'm not going to fight a fight I can't win.
Mhm.
I won't. I won't waste time. I won't fight a fight I can't win. If I thought that by doing it that it would be worth it, that enough people would be have access to it and hear it, I would do it. So that's what, and I mean, listen, I'm dying to record. I've got like, we have 100 and, I don't know, 50, 65 songs written, which is like a nightmare because then we have to choose. And I hate that too. So, but the reason I don't spend, I don't want to spend 16 hours a day of my life on a project that nobody's going to hear.
Well, you know what's fun? I don't know if you do this ever. Do you go back to the songs that maybe didn't become as well known and revisit that catalog? I think everything you do is brilliant. I seriously do. I love it all. But Shine is one of my favorite
Yeah,
songs.
that's what I'm saying. We have like there's a million songs to be cut, recut, or you whatever you want to do, that kind of thing. But I mean, we have I'm telling you, at least 162, 5 songs that are written that I'd love to record, but the commitment of recording it for the hours in the day, I don't know. I really have to be motivated to do that. So.
Popping back to this,
Mhm.
how did the writing process for the book differ from the writing process for a song, or did it? I don't know.
Not really. So, because I'm basically the lyricist, I write the most of, Spider does too, but that's my primary job. So, writing the book was the same thing. The and because this, when you write children's books, you have a choice, and this to me, because it was about music and about all this other kind of stuff, to me needed to have kind of follow the idea of a song format, because I wanted to have that rhythmic way that it read, the rhyming way that it read, and it has a rhythm to it. So it wasn't that different. It's a lot shorter. You know what I mean? It goes a lot quicker because the outline of the story, everything begins the same. The outline, when I'm writing a song or beginning a song, either Spider will just say one thing to me. He'll say, I had this idea today, and it's just a line, and it might just be like an idea, like he would say, like a title, like Promises in the Dark. And then I go away and I go alone and I start thinking about like, what does that mean? I mean, that's not what happened, but that's the kind of thing that would happen. So the same thing happens with the idea that I had, was that all grandparents rocked, regardless of what you did, what you look like, what you were called. So having the title really helped. So at first I had Grandparents Rock, then I had, grandma and grandma. Then we had because I had the idea that I wanted, because we've read so many children's books to our kids and to our grandkids. I know that the thing that they love the most is when they can see themselves in the book, that this relates, of course, because they're little and they don't have any exposure to the world yet. So their world is small. So if you can get them so that they feel that they belong, that they're in that book. I know that because I read the books to the kids all the time. So that was really important. So adding the word my was huge. So it was my grandma and grandpa rock, which meant it would be about the kids narrating the book, talking about my grandma and grandpa do this. And here's all the other things that they can do. So it literally, the outline came right away. The title was immediate. And then it was simply filling in, like, well, what are they? How are they different? How could they be different? Then that it just rolls after that. So it's pretty much like a song.
I knew you were a reader. I didn't we've never talked about this before, so I didn't know how much you read to Haley, uh, and Hannah. I did not know to what extent you were reading to the grandkids now. So your training ground for this was something I didn't know. You've read a lot of children's books. I mean, that was and I'll be honest, I became a reader later. I was not much of a reader, so poor little Kevin and Mary Beth didn't get read to a lot. It was just not my thing. But here's what's crazy, their mother is a reader, and both of them are readers. They're
Mhm.
both readers on their own, and I'm grateful for that. I'm so grateful that I found reading more because my writing skills, as you know, developed over time. I didn't start out writing by any stretch of the imagination.
Right. But yeah, but I mean, sometimes you just have to unlock the part. I mean, Spider and I are I know this sounds ridiculous, but Spider and I are both really introvert people. We are. We are a solitary humans. Like this is why This is why we get along, and this is why everything works, because we're both the same. That, I need to have time to think. I just want to think about things all the time. I want to think about why all the time. So books for me were always about, like, I read a book, and the reason I'm reading 5 is because I read, I'll be reading, like, 10 pages, and then I put the book down, and then I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about, who is this person? I love historical fiction because I love history, and then I love it, just like expanding on the story, and like thinking about, like, what actually happened, what could have happened, so this, for me, everything about this is mystical and exciting, and it's an adventure. And so book reading for me, and it's solitary. When you're reading a book, you're alone, and I want to be alone. I want to be alone to think, and I want to analyze, and I want to take it apart, and think about, who is this person? What did she have for breakfast? And I wonder what it meant to be alive in this time. That's what I'm doing when I'm reading the book. So I'm reading 5 books at once, because then I put that one down, because then I'm doing that for like a few hours. And then I'll pick up the other one. And I read crazy shit. I also read, I read, like The Heat Will Kill You First, which is a book about climate change and what happens to animals, and the signals that you'll be getting about what happens when we've gone absolutely too far. And these are the things that are going to happen. You're going to see this happening, and you're going to know. And I'm like, oh, so I mean, I'm just,
How okay, I'm gonna ask this from perspective again, you're helping me deal with stuff that I deal with. There are things I'm learning about you today that I didn't know. My sister Paula asked me once, Paula, who you met, Paula, I'm always thinking, always, always, always. And she literally looked at me since I moved back. She was, Do you ever stop? Does it ever stop? She very quizzically, like, do you ever stop? And I was like, no.
no, no. So that's the only reason I do things, because these things that are in my head, his head, have to go somewhere. You know what I mean? You can't just like have them and not do something. And that's the problem. It's not, I don't necessarily want to work, because I just want to think. I don't want, I mean, that is my work. For me, that's my work. My work is to be introspective and to think. And I know it's crazy, because it's like jumbo shrimp, because I'm on stage and I'm with all these people, and I've never been any good at like parties. Like, more than 6 people at dinner, I'm already losing my mind. I can't, because it's too much information going in, and like too much noise, too much everything. And it's not because I don't love them, I do, but it's too much. And it keeps me like on my like left foot, because I have to stay present, and I don't really want to be present. I want to be in my head where I like it the most. So, and being on stage is totally different, because there's a separation between us and them. So I could be with 10,000, I can be with 200,000 people. That has no effect on me, except something really good, because I feel them anyway, and I love them, and what I'm feeling about them is really great. And what with the exchange between all of us together is like exceptionally great. And that is the part that is the most addictive for me to keep performing, is because I miss them. And I don't miss them. I don't miss them applauding. I don't miss any of that. I miss the connection, because I want to know them. I want the why. I always want the why. So when I'm with them, I genuinely feel them, and I really want to feel them more. So that's the part I miss when I'm not performing, is that they're not in front of me, So, but the other thing is that I absolutely have to have the other time. I have to have the other time, because I really need to think. And so does he, which is great, because we can be in the same house for 12 hours a day, and be so like, this is, like, not having a person going like, oh my god, are you ever coming out of your office? I would have to kill myself. I would die. When I was young, and my poor when I was young, and I was married when I was 19, this was the person. It's not his fault. We didn't know. He didn't know. I didn't know. But I mean, he was just like knocking on the door. Like, how long are you going to be in there all day? And I'm like, stop talking to me. You know what I mean? So, but Spider and I are perfectly matched, because he's exactly the same.
I just want to think. I love that. We're more alike than I thought. You probably knew.
No, because Virgos, like, yeah, Virgos are so alike. Yeah, and
Yeah.
you're way nice. Virgos are way nicer than us. Like, Capricorns are like, no, we're tough. And I don't mean in a good way.
Oh,
Like, we're a little bit obnoxious and tough. we're just, we're pretty like that. You're a lot mellower than
Well, I
me.
have many times on this show apologized to the world. Yes, on behalf of all of us Virgos, I am sorry. I apologize. We know our lists annoy you, but we do get things done. But we do know we're annoying.
I mean, Erin, Punch, Erin,
Yeah,
she's a Virgo. She's my right arm. You know what I mean? It's just because we understand each other, but she's way nicer than me.
she is wonderful. We love Erin, and Erin and I talk offline too. Every now and
Mhm.
then we will have a long monster late night conversation when you all are on the road.
I know she's the greatest. I mean, she's great because she is so hell bent on doing her job and she never says no. And she's firm, but she's kind. And, she just has a little bit more of that. Like when I'm done, I'm done. I'm like, that's kind of it. You have to go away now because I'm done. That's it. And she stands between me and like disasters and Spider. I mean, she's definitely Spider's shield, because he's a lot more outspoken than me. I'm quiet. I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. I am. I'm quietly bitching and moaning, but and I'm just like, ugh, but he's like, he's gonna come right out with it. His filter sucks. He's got no filter, so
I have said this before on this show many, many times that you age better if you work intellectually, mentally. It's not just physically, but staying mentally fit and active and have goals and want to learn things and want to do things. And that's good for people like you and me and everyone.
percent because that's just the same for me. So yeah. I mean,
Mm.
there's so much. And all I ever say to him is there isn't gonna be enough time. And he's like, "What are you talking about?" I go, "I'm not gonna have enough time. There's so much more to know. There's so much more to think about, and I'm not gonna have enough time." That's what I say all the time. Because I believe it. There isn't enough time. I'm not done. I've got so much more to know. And believe me, I spend a lot of time trying to know.
I think I'm going to do something. I'm about to plant a seed. Is that a song? There's never going to be enough time.
Well, probably.
Am I going to ruin your day? That's the new song.
It's too late now. You already ruined it.
Yeah. I was gonna say I did that on purpose. It's in it. So did you see? I'm wearing
That's
my
what
gear.
happens. Yeah.
I've got
I
my
know. I
dinner
saw
cup.
that.
Yes. Immediately I had to do that. So, uh, we're so much more alike than even I thought
What do you
we
mean?
were.
What's your new project? What's your new project?
My new project.
Let me interview you for a minute. What's happening?
Oh, no. I really do want to do a second Ruby book. My first book that you read came out, Ruby came out. I mean, well, as you know, because we've talked about this, it's my Ruby. Yeah. But no, I'm not meaning to push myself, but she brought it up. I did not bring it up. And we've
That's
talked
on you're
about
so nice. See, that's what I'm talking about. Virgos are so nice. They were like really nice. Well, here's my book. Look, this is it. Read.
I love it that you read it. Hopefully, I'll get the movie, and we've talked about it. We've talked about you contributing.
Just keep going.
Yeah. Oh no, I think I'll get it. You've read it. I get it. I get what I
Mhm,
have,
mhm.
and the right opportunity will come along. Is there enough time? Will I run out of time? To let. I have to let that go. I have
There's
to under.
adventure around every corner. That's what I know. I know that. I know. Just keep your eyes open. There's so much. Ooh, so
But
much.
Ruby's alive after me. That's the one thing that's cool. Even if let's say I don't get my movie, I do think I will. I actually do, and I think you would agree. I think I'm going to get my movie.
It's true. I mean, art lives on, and that's a really great thing. You have children. I mean, it lives on, so that's it's perpetual. It's great.
I have one last thing to cover with you because you're not going to remember this, but I asked you the last time you were on this show if you could do a duet with anyone. You picked Frank Sinatra when I was sitting right here. I was like, you picked Frank Sinatra, and I'm the duet partner that you were supposed to pick. I said this. Okay.
Wow.
Then I go
It
to
has to be
one.
alive or dead. Alive or
Yeah.
dead.
Alive or dead. And then you're asked that again on stage at one of the meet and greets, and I'm there, and you pick John Lennon. I'm like, I'm in the room. I am in the room. You said that if I picked the song, we could do the show. We could do it. So I now have a list of our
What's your song?
duets.
What'd you pick? What'd you
Yeah,
pick?
so okay. Now I'm different than you. So I'm a little bit more '70s pop, sort of a little bit more country. You're a little more rock and roll. So We Belong, I thought, as a duet is certainly an option. Been done before. Suddenly, Olivia Newton-John and Cliff Richard from Xanadu. We could do that. The Suddenly duet. That's one. I think we could redo Picture, Sheryl Crow and Kid Rock.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a good one.
You need to get out of your comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone.
Oh, well, then none of these are out of my comfort zone.
Never little. Take a chance. Come on.
Where Your Road Leads, Trisha and Garth. Oh, I loved it. When you did the country thing, when you sang with Dolly, when you did the show recently, Crossroads with Martina, you have to hear about that Crossroads with
Yeah, but that's a
Martina.
great fucking song. I mean, like, I don't care how it gets done. That's a great lyric. That's an amazing song. Let freedom ring. Come on. It was
The two of
amazing.
you, oh God,
Yeah.
Crossroads with you and
She's
Martina.
a great star. She's
Because you're writing children's books, this is the song. This is the winner that I picked. Act excited even if you hate it. You can't do that. Okay, so we'll just see what you think. This goes back to 1986. Because you're writing children's books, it's a remake of the Linda Ronstadt, James Ingram song, Somewhere Out There.
Oh, that's a great song. Okay, you could have that one.
Okay, so that is our new duet. So I will be traveling to LA. We will be recording. It will be out in what, 2.5 weeks? So yeah. I did my part. I picked
did
the
it.
song.
You
Oh my
did.
God.
Good job.
Oh, Patricia Giraldo, I love you so much. I appreciate you. You've spoken to me in a way I didn't expect. You've kind of justified how annoying I am and wanted to keep going.
No, Queen of Annoying would be moi. Because I'm a relentless motherfucker and I never stop. So yeah. I'm sorry. Do you have to beep all that shit? I don't know.
It's a great way to live, though. It really
Well,
is
I
such
don't
a
know.
great...
You have to speak to my husband about that. I'm not sure about that.
But it's interesting.
I like him a lot.
But it's interesting. So I have one
It is
last question.
interesting. It's never boring ever. I mean, I don't think I've ever said those words ever. I've never said I'm bored. I've never said this because I'm not. Because it's just fun. I mean, it sucks too. I mean, there's horrible shit. It's not like it's always good. It's horrible, but at least it never stops, which is what I like the most. It doesn't stop.
I have one last question that I ask everybody. Are you ready? You know that the show is called On the Nose, KNOWS. So I end every show with Patricia Giraldo. What do you know?
I know that there is nothing more important than loving the most and hardest you can. I know that. I know that there is nothing more important than imagination and adventure. And it doesn't have to be wild or crazy or anything, but that spark that is in your life, in your heart, in your head, that gets you to really enjoy everything. There's a lot of horrible shit going on right now. Okay. It's horrible. It's horrible. But that spark that you know that if you just keep going, things will change. They will. And if you keep going and you give every minute that you have to that positive spark, only good things will happen. And when the bad things do happen, you will be able to face them and go through them. That's what I know.
For more information, visit onthenose.com. Please be sure to follow On the Nose with Randall Kenneth Jones on YouTube and subscribe on your preferred podcast platform. For On the Nose, I'm Susan Bennett, the original voice of Siri. And yes, I know. Do you? If not, see you next time.